So before we go into this question, we need to know basics of drug development. So how a drug is coming into the market. So initially, we discover the drug, the basic molecule, either by serendipity. Now we have different biogenetic mechanisms. The chemical analyst will help in designing the drug designing, and then we have the lead number of lead molecules will be there, that will be optimized, and finally one lead molecule will be there. This lead molecule will undergo the preclinical studies. So preclinical studies, first there will be in vitro studies, that is in individual tissue will be looking at the effect of that drug. Then we go in for in vivo studies, small animal and large animal. So after the animal studies, when we are going to first test the drug in humans, we need to get approval from the regulatory agency. So here we are applying to the regulatory agency as a investigational new drug application. So once we get, so they look into all these preclinical studies data, and if they find out that it is okay to allow the testing of this drug in humans, they will give the permission. Then it comes first into the humans. In humans, the first study is what is known as a phase 1 study, where we do it in very few healthy volunteers. Phase 1 is in healthy volunteers. Why are we choosing volunteers? Because they are relatively healthy. They can tolerate any adverse effects much better than patients who are having disease condition. So we do it in very limited, around 20 to 50 patients. What are we looking at? Here we'll be using, the starting dose is 1/10th of the maximum tolerated dose that was found in the animal studies. Then we'll gradually increases the dose and see which is the optimum dose that we can give for humans. Again, we look at the pharmacokinetics, whether the drug is actually reaching, the animal models may vary, whether it is actually reaching the drug site when we are giving it in humans. Only in few situations like anti-cancer drug and in HIV, we do the phase 1 in patients itself. Anti-cancer and HIV, we directly do it in patients because the drugs are very toxic. All others, we do it in healthy volunteers, but they should be strict, monitored by well-specialized personnel who are equipped to manage any adverse reactions, if any, and they are done in very strict, with all emergency facility equipped facilities. Only phase 1 trials are done. Phase 2 is when we do first in humans. Okay, these are called first in humans. It's called therapeutic exploratory trials. So here we can look at the efficacy, because in phase 1 we did it in healthy volunteers. We were not able to comment on efficacy. But in phase 2, since we are doing it in patients, we will be able to say about, again, we are looking at pharmacokinetics, dose ranging. Again, we'll do first time in patients. Efficacy also we can see. And here we do it in very limited number without much comorbidities and all. Okay, this can be single blinded. Phase 3 is when we do it in large number, that is around 10,000 to 20,000 patients, where we do double blinding, both the patient as well as the one who is administering is also blinded to reduce the biases in analysis and in obtaining the results and all. Large multicentric trials are being done. Here mainly we are looking at the efficacy when we give the drug to huge number of patients. After phase 3 also, if the drug clears phase 3 also, if it is found to be effective, again, before it comes to the market, they again approaches the regulatory agency. In India, the regulatory agency is CDSCO. Like in US, you have US FDA. And here, this time they apply for a new drug application. Previously, it was investigational new drug. Now it's a new drug application. So once they find out that there are adequate safety and efficacy data, they give the approval. Till 4 years after approval, the drug is still considered as a new drug. During this phase, they need to carry out the phase 4 or the post-marketing surveillance. And in post-marketing, mainly we look at the real-world efficacy of the drug, plus we are mainly looking at pharmacovigilance or the drug safety parameters of the drugs. We are monitoring for the adverse drug reactions because we don't know when it comes to the market taken by large number of patients with different comorbidities, different drug interactions can be there. They might be taking different systems of medications. So to study regional variations can be there, special population like pregnancy, psychiatric, elderly. So we need to get data on all this. That is when we conduct the post-marketing surveillance study.